Hello, welcome to another episode of Word Up, the podcast that aims to help you go from articulate to articulate. But let us know how we're doing with that. Most of the time we just talk about shit. We have an excellent episode coming up for you this week. I have my good friend Ronan Boyle on. He is a fantastic comedian. In fact, if you like what you see, and you probably already heard of Ronan Boyle and you want to go and see some of his shows, he's doing his first ever 1 hour special. It's mainly kind of sold out, hasn't it? But there's a few wee gigs that he's still got tickets left for. So if you want to go and see Ronan Boyle's big, massive wee tour, you can see him in Derry, if you're up that whack, Derry Stroke City, on the 21st of September in the Brickworks. Or you can go and see him in the American Bar in Belfast on the 1st of October. So make sure you get your wee tickets booked if you want to go and see that before you end up disappointed. But also, I have to tell you about my gigs. Well, there's 2 in particular that I want to tell you about because they're going to be crackers next week in the Devonish Complex in Belfast on Friday. So if you're watching this tonight, the night it airs, it's this Friday. I'm doing a gig for Tribe Belfast, and it's all in aid. It's all for charity, and it's in aid of West Wellbeing. So get your tickets for that. If you go on my Instagram, you'll be able to get the link and you can get your tickets to it. It's nearly sold out, so make sure that you get booked if you want to go and see it. Also, really, really excited to announce that this is going to be a monthly thing in the Doyen, which is formerly known as the King's Head, the artist previously known as Prince. We have a comedy night coming up for you with Paddy McDonnell. On the 13th of October, I'm going to be there as well. So come along for the crack. I think like 70% of the tickets are sold already. So make sure you get them if you want to avoid disappointment this time around. But come along, have a laugh, and tell your wee granny I was asking about her. That actually reminds me, hello, welcome to Word Up. How are you? This is Ronan Boyle. I've got my good mate on with me. Do you want to tell us a wee something about yourself, Ronan? What's the crack with you? He's been doing comedy now for 4.5 years.
Well, do you know what? I used to be an MMA fighter.
What? Did you?
Right up to 39.
You were literal I am fighter.
So I wasted my 20s. It was a fucking header, like.
Didn't we all?
Got on the baller.
There's no such thing as a wasted youth.
Strabane and the West, there's a lot of similarities. So there is.
Yeah.
But
I love Strabane. Strabane's a great place to
I
be.
feel like I wasted 10 years of my life because I just went mental when I was in my 20s.
You can't be
I didn't get
overweight
married
if you
in my
weren't
20s
young
and had a
and
child
foolish.
right enough, but
Did you?
that was important.
I feel like I wasted in the 20s. I got married and had a baby.
Well, I always feel like I got everything late, so I used to box when I was younger, and then I went back to MMA and all because I got into a lot of bother when I was younger, fighting and all out there in the street and all.
So you learned how to do it properly.
Yeah, my granddad always would say to me, because he was a boxer,
Right.
see them boys fighting in the street, they aren't brave. Could you get one of them and see if they'll go in the ring? And I always stuck with me because I used to be a baller all the time. And when I was growing up, Strabane was sort of like, do you know them football hooligan crack? We all love fighting each other.
What did you call that one with
part of the
Danny
town,
Dyer?
Something
Football
like that.
Factory.
Something like that. So one part of the town would have fought, the head of the town would have been against the Ballycummin, and you met down the town. It was... Everybody speaks nowadays, like. I know it's mad.
Through a wee voice box. Remember when you punched me in the throat?
Hello,
crack all together.
Hey. Hello. I did half that damage. But what happened then was I started doing the MMA and the kickboxing and all in my 30s.
Right.
So I started about
What age are you, Ronan? Because I don't
46.
think... You're fucking looking alright.
I'm alright, man.
I know here. Tell you what.
I'll tell you what. But then I
All
went...
that fighting must have kept him young, isn't that right,
you
Sean?
Oh.
the face tree.
He was like...
So I started getting into MMA and all that crack, and I did that in my 30s. Then about 38, I stopped it. It was my last fight. Kickboxing, won a Narn title.
Did you?
Fuck.
Narn.
Heavyweight champion.
Get away.
Did you ever notice that the Protestants can't say Ireland? And
Ireland.
the Catholics can't say Northern?
I know what's it. Yeah, we have a wee problem.
We should name this place the North of Nam.
Nam.
The North of
Nam. And it's funny because Nam. It's
Nam.
like Vietnam and we say Nam for nothing.
They can't say it, even knowing. You're Nam.
No.
Just say it.
I know sometimes I get really like whenever I'm on stage, I'm dead funny about because I would say the north of Ireland.
So there.
And Diane and I just went balls to the wall and I was like, So I call it the North of Ireland, and you probably call it something wrong, but do you know what I mean? And I love to see because we're good at laughing at ourselves.
That's it. So even William Thompson, all you get both sides of the house giving each other a stick. That's the way it should be.
And that's what people love, I think, because there's so much like conflict over here. Sometimes people love to just get together and laugh at it all and go, was fighting out there, but fuck me, that's funny. Hold on, did that rub my black eye too 100%, hard?
100%.
But here, so you were fighting street fighting in your 20s.
And then went on then the street fighting and just getting into all the bad stuff that everybody got into.
And then you had so many good stories.
The sessions. Jesus, I have some stories like so. Then I went on. 28 will stop fight, or 38 will stop fighting, and then it was like a year of what. See, when you're fighting, you see you have an identity.
Yeah.
You're known as an MMA fighter, and you're fighting in front of big crowds. I actually fought in 2 shows. Conor McGregor fought him.
Get away.
I remember seeing him in the changing rooms and going, who's that wee fucker there?
Wee dickhead.
And then I fought and I was like, ooh.
I'll maybe not look at him.
Because he's outside going, I'll fight fucking everybody.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
oh, then you seen him then? I was just watching him going, Jesus, he's good.
What was your moniker then?
What big massive Ronan Boyle. Just
Big
Was it
massive?
still big massive?
I did that
Right.
because I was
Yeah, that's a
massive,
good
you see. I went to Turkey and got an operation.
What do you mean?
I got my stomach cut in half.
Oh, get away.
That's why I'm slimmer looking now. Like
No, whenever you said I went to Turkey and got an operation to be massive, I was thinking
I was
else.
massive.
You know?
Whenever I got my pubes shaved off.
Again, an extra inch. This is fucking brilliant. It isn't a midget's thumb in a bush anymore. It's just a midget's thumb. Loving our lives. Fucking right. So what made you go, yeah, actually, I'll give comedy a go?
So I was always a messer. Always had the crack. People knew me. And you know what? I think I've been doing stand-up comedy in every party I've been in.
Yeah.
Do you know one of them ones? I was
totally.
always the
Holding
one,
court in the kitchen.
Aye. All the time. Like over the top stuff. Like everybody in my town would know of me long before I even did MMA.
They probably see you on stage and go, that's tame.
Aye. Anybody, like, that's why the Boiler Room actually works so well, my comedy club, because it's just like a party in my kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taps off stuff.
This kitchen is for dancing.
Andrew came back from it. Was like, it's like I done a gig up in Strabane there. it's like you just go in somebody's living room like.
Sure, our green room's just where they keep the beer and the liquor and all, and then there's a tube goes up from the toilet.
Yeah.
So I'm now marking every comedian comes poo out of 10.
Oh, really? Like,
Kieran
'cause
Bartlett won hands down the last.
right enough, whenever I
Geddes,
was there, somebody
Paddy.
had took a dump and left the
Paddy,
door
but
open.
denied it.
Right, was it? He denied it.
He denied it,
supplied
but we know
denied
I just smelt the waste of it.
Yeah. You smelled the chicken curry fried rice.
Tasted like my uncle had no sense of smell, but he could taste.
But see, sitting in that wee green room there too, funnily enough, I looked around me and thought, it's as well I don't drink anymore.
Aye.
Because I would have been full, I'd have been getting
Oh, there's
stuff, all
alcoholics
the
in there
alcohols.
because everything's in there, like, and
Yeah.
they trust us. Charlie trusts us to use it, so it's
Yeah.
so it is a safe place.
So
but
we might be comedians, but we're solid bastards. Like, we're not
Aye,
stale
you
on
know,
you.
this is the best thing for our mental health. So that's what I was going to say. So there's a year between fighting and me starting comedy, and it was like, fuck, what am I? Like, I have a friend who was a great fighter and now he's stopped, but he might take the odd fight because, and I said to him, you need to find someone because.
You're going to get your cunt kicked in one of these days.
You're not, and he's only doing. I think he's only fighting now because it's part of his identity. And he wants.
Yeah,
But I said, man, you need to move on, even to start your own club. But so then I started a online page called the Strabanter, right?
Right.
And I got this stage where it's like.
Is that you doing?
Aye.
The Strabanter? Right.
So there's about 1 million people coming through a month.
Yeah,
Or a
get
week.
away.
There was 1 week. It was just great. It was doing really well.
Brilliant.
See, when I look back at it now and some of the jokes and all, you're just going, ugh. You know, because we're doing comedy now that long, that you always look back the year before and you see your improvement.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So then
like looking back on your Facebook from 10 years.
Aye, you're like, no, 2 likes, and what the fuck was I saying?
I know. I was drunk. Delete.
Fuck, don't talk about drunk. I used to go live drunk and everything, but
Oh, God.
so before we did Stramander, my page would have been busy with local people, just not. And then the reason we did it was to try and get the traffic somewhere else. So if like work or someone came on my page, they wouldn't see me with the top off,
Aye.
being a
Just
tube.
Having a laugh.
And I did that, and I started doing pantos and plays, comedy parts. Once, see the difference between getting likes and getting laughs.
Getting laughs.
Real hearing the
It's
laughter.
addictive, isn't it?
Oh man!
It's like heroin.
So my first actual part to play was Frankenstein and a Halloween panto,
Get away.
and I had about 4 lines, and I think one of them was And I was shite myself about that line.
Did you have to run your
I was
line?
sitting in front of the Myrtle. And then I had to walk around like Frankenstein. But hey, and I knew that I was, like everybody was acting, but the people were paying attention to me.
Yeah.
Even though I was just walking around and ad-libbing, and they told me just to ad-lib, and I sang one song.
Right, what did you sing? What was your
I
song?
was working in the lab late one night when
I heard Paddy McDonald having a shite.
It wasn't as bad as Bartlett's, but I'll tell you what. And I'm walking around fucking, and this is when I was 20 stone. Know what I mean?
Yes.
We actually did a double show. It was like a matinee for the Waynes. I actually cursed in it, and they had to remind me you're not allowed to curse. But then I went to the bar for 2 pints.
Oh God, right.
We still have green face. I mean, you're not going to take the makeup back. Right? I'm sitting in the bar like Frankenstein. I look like Shrek.
He's just going, it's a hangover from hell, lad.
And you know what? The top half was like a hat thing. So I took that off, so it was like normal from there up, and then just green. Stayed of me. I look like Shrek after fucking
without his wee horns.
Shrek out in a stag do.
Shrek left behind. So what happened then was that I knew, right, to be a proper comedian, you need to do stand-up.
Okay, yeah.
That's the ultimate on it. Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And that's the
it's
one
the
that
gauntlet.
scares you.
You need to do the rooms.
Like, I remember saying, people used to think of me as a comedian locally, but even big Connor Keys is a mate of mine. Me and him know each other years. Connor tried to get me into comedy like 4 years before I did it.
Right. Oh, I didn't know you and Connor knew each other that
We
well.
know each other 20 years.
Yeah, get away.
So we worked with Travellers as our job. I was Derry, he was Oma. We
Yeah.
used to come together all the time. He actually kicked me off a cliff into the sea. It's another story.
Do you think that helps really well though, being like a comedian and having like working with people and things like that? People warm to it and they identify with you.
And that's why I can run clubs and all too, because I carried over a lot of skills from my work.
Yeah.
Because I organise stuff and all that
Yeah.
there. Why a lot of comedians can't run a club?
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine.
Because they
that's
just
why I
think
go.
about
I
me.
couldn't do it. Like.
Well, there's people that, and it's a different skill because there's stuff. I have no bother lifting the phone talking to people. And all.
Yeah.
A lot of comedians don't just want to text and stuff like that there. But
yeah.
So I started doing plays and all that, and I just loved the laughter. And then the building I worked in, Connor was doing an open mic in the basement.
Right.
Now, if the stars don't align, I said to myself, if I don't do it now,
God's literally throwing something.
there's
at
somebody
you.
saying, in the basement where you work, you can do. And the first gig I did, there was like 18 in the audience, and 10 of them might have been my family.
Yes,
And I was never scared in my life. Because right up there, I had all this. I did a couple of, about 10 viral videos where I was dressed up as an orange man.
Yes, that's brilliant
I
stuff.
stood in, I dressed as an orange man, stood at Free Day Corner with a sign going, "Welcome to London Day."
Yeah, I did. That shows you he's some fucking pup.
Do you know, it was like Die Hard to Vengeance whenever I said it. And the cameraman didn't even get a good shot at it. I could have killed them.
Really?
Wands are beeping horns and getting out and all.
Get away.
I had to shout me down, they're out, it's alright.
It's okay.
It's okay, check them out.
It's just a prank, bro.
Just should have flipped it right
You
around.
recognise me now?
Yes, around. Didn't recognise you over your face out. You're saying, go ahead.
So I knew I had to do it then when it was there, and I said I'll do it so I can say I did it.
Yes.
And when I did
That's
it
what I
once,
did,
that
too.
was it.
Yeah, you were hooked.
That was it.
And to hear, isn't it? It's a different experience because you're literally going in front of people to say, "Here, see this stuff I'm about to say to you. It's funny," and you're going to laugh, and almost you'll get them people that are like,
Oh, aye.
"Go on then, motherfucker,
That's it.
make me laugh."
Where I went to a gig there, and it was before I went on, because the Orange Man show, I do an Orange Man show now, or a play.
Right?
Right, and
Brilliant.
it's on tour, and it sells out everywhere. It's doing brilliant, but it's like, so it's based in Strabane, the 1980s.
Oh,
And
right.
my name's Liam, and I'm a Republican, but I want to be in the Orange Order because I love everything orange, like Jaffa cakes and mandarins and tigers.
Right.
And
This is
it's
brilliant.
delusional stuff, like. And so the whole thing is set in the 80s. My wife thinks I'm having an affair. The IRA think I'm a tout. Nobody knows it's really I want to join the Orange Order. The Orange Order don't even they think I'm delusional because I'm joining for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So there's a good it intertwines both.
Yes. What do you call this?
Orange is the new green.
Oh my God! Yes, I've seen this
with
advertised.
a
Right.
big, me with a big face.
Get
now.
on and look. Get on
We're
and
in
look for it.
Coleraine, Cookstown, and Coal Island.
That sounds amazing.
The
that
next three,
premise.
and the crack's good. And then there's a good message at the end.
Right.
And we've got the hindsight of knowing what way the future
Yes.
unravelled.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So you can see.
Instead of transgender, it's
Dramatic
transmember.
irony. Yes. Transmember.
So,
I identify.
so I do that there, and then what was on about this?
About how you get into comedy.
So the videos went viral, and we said there's something here. So the videos are more me running around insulting people from my town, showing how open we are and all, because they all know me.
Yeah.
You couldn't get away with it in other towns, but
Have you ever got anybody that's really taken offence on behalf of those videos? Like
not really, you know.
No?
Not really. I did one there. Do you remember there was a whole operation there with the real IRA, and there was a lot of Protestants got lifted?
Oh yeah.
So I did a video about the NLA, the Irish National Loyalist Army.
Yeah, that's right. The ERPs.
But it was Loyalist Army instead of...
All right.
And then I just did a whole thing, and that went viral as well. It was like, you try and hit both sides.
Yeah.
I did an organisation that once... It actually went viral, but I need to look at it. I can't even remember. But it was one of them ones, mask on,
in the notes
sash and a Celtic top, and it just went... And then it just flew. Do you ever do that?
So it's like just like this character that you're...
Character. So it's like one of them characters, but from experience in life. But then she wants to start to stand up, and it's just...
That's you, Flan.
Prevalence, and now I do a podcast as well.
For those of you who don't know, Ronan Boyle hosts a comedy night called The Boiler Room in Strabane. And you need to get, it's an absolutely brilliant room. If you ever want to go and you want to experience an electric feeling in the audience, it's almost a religious experience, isn't it? Because
it's like a cheat code. Like
it
no
really
one's
is.
ever died in that room.
Yeah, nobody dies in that room, but at the same time, it's the audience as well. I imagine I would go as an audience member just to sit.
Because
and
the people love it, and the comedians love it, and you know what? Ones all say, "Why are you not going to a bigger room?" I said, "Because there's something magic about this."
Yeah, there's an atmosphere. There's
it holds 30, and I get 60 in it. You know, right?
Yeah, you cram every, and that's brilliant because it takes away people's sort of sense of individuality, where they're like, "Oh God, don't look at me," because everyone's crammed in just there to laugh.
Contagious.
But it says a lot about like the comedy scene over here at the minute. You know how it is. We are flying with the comedy. But here, anyways.
I'm going to run the Kosh that you loved. You mentioned Fair Play for mentioning on Shane Todd's pod.
Yeah, the Kosh was a brilliant drink.
So that's like the Boiler Room on steroids.
Yes, the Kosh is amazing. I was talking about that and Shane, because he asked me what like my favourite gig was and stuff, did you? And the Kosh was just a fucking awesome audience.
And it's always been like that.
William Thompson thought that there was a fight going on. Did I mention that in the podcast? And he ran
What was William going to do, by the way?
I know! Oh, bless him. But at least he was going to fucking, he had the balls to do
Because it's that chaotic and all, they thought, what's going on out there?
He thought she has them arguing out there. But no, we were just debating. Like, it was just funny. It was fucking brilliant.
Derry love it. And there is on it. I think the gigs in Belfast are good, but it seems that the ones outsiders seem to be better because Belfast's spoilt.
Yeah. Belfast is spoilt rotten for comedy.
You can go out any day of the week in Belfast and watch comedy or see plays or whatever. Where if you're going to, if you're bringing Cloddy, for example, or Strabane or a wee village,
all
you're bringing names that people see that are going, like, because the scene in the NA is unreal. Like,
definitely.
all our top comedians are all in the SSC arenas and waterfronts.
But they'll still do all the wee towns. I think you need to do that, because don't get me wrong, I'm not doing the SS arena or the waterfront anytime soon. Sure. But we will.
I'll open for you.
Yes. But here's the thing. It's like, see, even if you did all that, I was talking to somebody about that. Even if you do the waterfront, the SSE, this, that and the other, you still as a comedian need to do all those wee clubs. Because for a start, you need to keep your ear to the ground. You need to make sure that what you're saying is still fucking funny 100%. At a grassroots level. And also, I would miss it.
See,
like, you need to like have a thick skin. Yeah.
Like Shane would, like, even last week, Colin Geddes said, would it be too soon to ask for a whip, work in progress?
Right.
He says, me and McCartney. See him and McCartney, just like, you can say when.
Yeah.
And he says, and that was a Wednesday. I said, you know what, I'll put them out on Thursday. Sold Thursday night.
So I've all sold out, They would just
and I think that, get out of Belfast, try new stuff. Boiler Room's brilliant for trying new stuff, by the way.
Yeah.
Because they're up for it.
Aye.
They're like, and they're like, they want to go, they love, so if say anybody goes to see Paddy and the SSE after he did, they can see, fuck, I seen him starting that out.
Yeah. It's changed a bit, but now
it's mad how, we, on January, I do a thing in January, it's called the Dry Wit Comedy, and it's a real tough gig because no drinking.
Right.
And some community centres. Like the last couple ones, but it was during COVID, ones with masks and DOE jackets and all, just sitting.
Get away.
So it's really hard to get them laughing. So I seen William starting off his new stuff and Aaron McCann.
I want to try that. That sounds like a challenge.
100% then I'll be in touch.
Yes.
It's a good way to start the year because it's tough.
Yeah.
And then you get stuck in. So them boys did their new stuff, which was hilarious. But see, when you hear them then 6 months later.
Yeah. Yeah. You go, that's polished.
And that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Like I remember when you started out, you did an open mic. And you probably did well. And then the week later, you're asked back and you come in your 5 minutes and then you die in your hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what I remember Mickey Bartlett saying to me whenever I'd done the pavilion? He was there the first night that I ever was on. And he was like, don't worry. See a titter in the pavilion is like a standing ovation anywhere else. And I got on that first night. If I do say so myself, I thought I killed it. Like, and I loved it. That was where I got the bug. But it is so true. It's like you get audiences, whatever way the room's set up, they're a wee bit harder to please.
I quoted you on Monday because I was there Monday.
Oh, really?
Quoted you me and Eamon went up and only 8 people showed up.
Right.
But I think 10 people showed up, but 2 were there to see somebody, and as soon as she done, they left.
Yeah.
So when I got up, there was about 7.
Yeah.
And because next week I'm starting my wee tour,
Right, yes.
that I wanted...
The wee big massive tour.
Aye. Isn't it? The big massive wee tour.
The big massive wee tour, yes.
And I'm actually coming to Belfast on the 1st October, the
Yes.
American Buyer, so get on that.
Make sure that you get your tickets early
gonna be a
because that's
small wee room.
it's a smaller room and it's going to sell out. The American Bar is a great wee venue as well down in Sailortown.
Aye.
So get your tickets to that.
No
I'll
boy
remember
comedy.
as well just before it. I'll plug it again. But
So I said to a few comedians, your coat, because I remember you telling me before that a laugh and a pause like a stand ovation or
Yeah.
an applause break.
Yeah.
Because I did like 6 gigs, smashing it, no big rooms.
yeah.
And then Boiler Room, and then we did the Crack Theatre.
Yeah.
You'll love that. If you did
Oh,
that,
really?
Talal Jamar does it, it's unreal.
All right.
Another town or village that don't get much, and then when you bring it, they love it.
Yeah.
And then I did brickwork and all that, and everything was boom, boom, boom. And I said, you know what, I need a few hard ones.
Yeah.
And
Do
I
a
got
hard
it
one.
Monday night. I headlined on Monday night. And listen, I tried like 4 new jokes,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they were. I got laughs.
Aye.
It was all like, haha.
Yeah. They make you work for it.
Aye.
Yeah.
And I remember Eamon too. Eamon didn't go into his real character because I knew he wasn't feeling it. And you have to sort of feel it too, don't you? You have to feel that it's working.
You do.
And then I'm doing Chicken Box tonight. Now Chicken Box is my local open mic. I love it.
Yeah, I love. Do you know I've only done Chicken Box a couple of times. I did it online during
Aye, COVID.
during COVID, and it was good crack. But it's a lovely wee room, isn't it? It's
I
really
love
nice.
it there because it's 10 minutes from my house.
Is it? Are you living in Derry?
Amsterdam, just
That's right. I've been
15 minutes,
to, so it's
You've been-
literally
you've
round
been
the
both.
corner. Yeah.
and see in the evenings too. You know yourself, it's easier to drive the gigs because there's no cars.
Yeah.
So all the comedians I know too, and I'm there for like 4 years, 4.5 years ago. That's my first gig in there.
Aye.
So you can get up and mess about.
Is that where you did your first gig?
My first was in the basement.
In the basement, and then you did.
Then I went my next one. Then was the.
Get out of town.
So I'm so relaxed now that I can get up with anything
Yeah.
and
yeah.
try anything out.
I feel like that now too. I used to be where, you know, it was like I
need
was
to
writing a
kill.
new thing every time, but now I'm just like, I'll see how I feel whenever I get on. See what I feel like talking about. Do you know what I mean? But here, do you know the Muffin Man? Right, word up.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
Do you know
The one who lives on Drury Lane?
I'm a real boy.
This is how you know our mental health are just aligning totally. Yes, do you want to hear the word of the week?
Go.
Right, so do you understand our premise of what
No.
we do here? Right, so we have a word every single week, and usually it's like an obscure word, a verb, or whatever, and we'll talk about what it means. Now, this week, it isn't actually that obscure. It's a word that ironically, it was doing to me what it means. Okay?
Is it big words because
No. The
Educate.
word is ruminate. Say it.
ruminate? So
Yes, ruminate. Do you know what it means by any chance?
no.
Right, okay, I'm going to tell
I'm
you.
gonna be truthful.
So, ruminate, usually the people don't know what they mean. That's not,
Right.
you're not really supposed to. I don't like it
Right.
when you know what they mean.
What about you getting your degree there? Did you just?
Oh no, I got my degree about fucking 20 years ago.
You're
But,
saying you just got to.
oh, I'm going to Derry on Saturday. I'm going to be, which is tonight, because this is released on a Saturday at 6. I'm supporting Shane Todd at the Millennium Forum.
Right.
So-
I thought, that's right.
And I graduated the last time I was on that stage. I was graduating, so it'll be really nice. It's a nice wee come full circle sort of moment for me.
Do you know I have the same experience?
Really?
I fought in there for a title,
Get away.
Millennium Forum, right? Then the last 2 years I've been the MC for the fight
Oh
nights.
wow!
And I got my degree in there.
And oh
now
my
I'm going
gosh!
back with
And you're
Paddy
going to
McDonald
open for
support.
Paddy up there.
So I'll be doing stand-up, MCing, degree, and I'm
The
thinking of going
Millennium
back there.
Forum is just like your canon building.
That's like Millennium Forum be like a Belfast Ulster Hall.
Oh, it is. I think of it as like a Belfast. It's like the waterfront almost.
Aye.
It, like in terms of the way it's laid out.
Class.
But
Then
it
it'll
is.
be the big massive podcast live.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Then it will be. Yeah. Yeah.
I've done a couple of live podcasts in Strabane and they've like 200 people come to it, so
Brilliant.
they're good crack, aren't they?
Yeah.
I find them harder
Do
than
you?
stand-up.
I don't know because I've only done Paddy and Williams, which is
When you host one, it's a bit
easy.
different.
When you host one, I would say it's more difficult. Do you know what I mean? Because it's different.
That's the
with an
next thing
audience.
for us. We should host a wee live
We should
podcast.
host. Yeah, let us know if you think we should do a live podcast.
Why don't you do one in the like American or
In the
something like that?
American
Yeah.
or the Sunflower or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would
That'd be
actually
nice.
be really good crack.
You need a guest.
Yes. Oh my God, you're right.
I'll
We're getting
sell
loads of
myself.
good ideas here. So ruminate.
Ruminate.
Ruminate means to, when you ruminate on something, right? It's derived from like... Why am I laughing?
As long as you clean up after yourself.
You bastard.
If you ruminate on someone, that is right.
It comes from like...
Okay. Make room to fucking a knit on this person here.
I'm working with
keep your mouth
professionals
open, do you?
here, ladies. Help me! Help fucking me! Right?
Ruminate.
Do you want to know what they're going to laugh now whenever you hear the etymology? It comes from like ruminant.
The what?
The etymology.
See.
It's like whenever you break down a word, so you look for the etymology of it, where it originated.
How did I get a degree?
Because you're from
Plagiarism,
Strabane.
Copying, rewording shit.
No, I sometimes wonder myself. But here,
Quotes that says.
pro-life tip, you never have to pay back your student loans if you don't get a real job. Brilliant. But ruminant,
Ruminant.
it comes from like chewing the cud. So when you
What?
when you chew over something, right?
Right.
When you chew on
Oh,
something
like I'm
for a long-
ruminating over something.
So you're ruminating means like you're repetitively thinking about it, right? And I
Makes
first
sense.
yeah, like I'm ruminating. I've been ruminating. So I first learned about it because like I have OCD. So I ruminate a lot, and it's usually used in a negative way. Like rumination involves repetitive thinking or dwelling on negative feelings.
So it's like a stressful thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. Ironically, that's the way it was presented to me by a mental health worker, and that's actually a really negative thing because it can be a positive thing.
Well, stress can be either
You
positive
can,
or
but you can
negative.
ruminate on good things too.
I always
But-
say that the young people or whatever working, like stress can be a positive. It's like if you have an interview coming up,
You need that
that
stress.
stress to make you prep.
Yeah, you need the hit of like, what is it? You know, I need it like because I have ADHD. I have more fucking letters after my name. I didn't need to go to university, like, but
I think I have a pile of them too.
I swear to God, but see, with the ADHD, I need that stress in order to get motivated. Like,
Aye.
I need that to get a dopamine
Yeah,
rush to go,
yeah.
right, fucking, I'm
Yeah.
gonna, otherwise I call it nopamine. Like, I'm just not ready to do that yet.
That's me in a weekend if I know I'm doing nothing. Dopamine.
Yeah,
I just get in the underpants.
I'm
and lie
having
down
a
here and just-
dopamine fucking weekend.
Aye.
But see, the rumination, I think it's handy because I think that's what makes you a good comedian if you're a ruminator. Because we will think on a wee word or on a joke. Do you ever, like, you go, there's a joke in there somewhere?
Do you ever just change a word and the joke kills? From
yeah.
dying? The
Yeah.
one word change.
Do you know what I think it's about too? It's about how comfortable you are. See, if you're saying it, do you ever, like...
Aye.
I always say to people, try not to go on the stage with your notes in your hand.
Aye.
Right? Because, and I'm not putting down anybody who does that because sometimes it's a wee safety
If I go
behaviour.
to Mike, I might.
Yeah, that's different.
Oh, not when
But
you're
see, if
getting
you're
paid.
being paid, you
No.
can't do that. You can't go
You
on
come
with your
here
notes
with
in your
tits.
hand. You need to come and know that you know your shit because people are going, she's getting paid for this.
See, when I watched you the last day, for example, it didn't look like you were even doing material. It was just looking you're having the crack with people.
Just standing
And that's
up
the
in the crowd.
best thing you can do.
Yeah, because you're relaxed. and
You're relaxing, you're
people are-
talking, going like, did you hear that? It just looks like you're coming up with.
Did you hear this one? You know, blah,
we're
blah, blah.
not.
Half,
We're not.
yeah. Half the time I fucking... Luke McGibbon turned around to me and went, I've never seen that stuff you did before for the first 10 minutes. And I went, I've never done it before.
But I think that helps too when you're relaxing and
Yeah.
then sometimes do you ever have the banter with your friends and you don't use it in your comedy, but then you throw it out and it just like works?
Yeah.
I think the more real you are to yourself,
true.
the better you're going to be. Like
totally, because you're just comfortable. People know, like you said about him and not wanting to do the character. It's because like he didn't feel it. He knew it would come off as fake.
Exactly.
Maybe. And
because they weren't up for it.
Yeah.
So we just hit them with jokes and got the laugh for each punchline rather than.
Yeah.
You know yourself between your big punchlines how it feels.
Yes.
When you get the silence.
Do you ever get...
That's what I was going to say to you. Remember I did the Orange Man thing?
Aye.
So it was like, you asked, did anybody ever take offence?
Yes.
I was doing a gig in, I think it was Lisburn or something, and before I went up, the two people who run the gig says, you don't do any Orange Man jokes, do you? And I went, no, what makes you... No, we just seen your videos and all. And I went, oh, no. And then
Hold on. They seen your videos and the booked you, but they went... You don't do any of that old Orange Man stuff, do you?
That's a play. And then I went up and the whole room was like that.
Oh, fuck.
And they were just, and I was like, oh no. But I got them.
Dear. Did you get them?
Got them,
I love it. I love it whenever you fucking get somebody and you're like,
If I hadn't been funny, I was fucked there.
Yeah.
So I just hit them everything and then it went well. Do you know
The
what I mean?
best laughs are when people are laughing against their will. Do you know what I mean? You go, yeah. Because where was it? I actually was at a gig before with Paddy. And there was a wee woman sitting there and she looked so lovely and so prim and proper. And as we all know, I'm vulgar. And she was just sitting there and you could tell that she was disgusted at first. And the thing is, I'll always look at the one person in the crowd who
That's
isn't
the
laughing.
only one you're looking at.
Because I'm like, you're gonna love me. Right? So I was looking at her like,
You better love me.
It's like whenever I meet a crowd of people and one's a horrible bastard, I go, I'm going to get you to fucking love me,
like
right?
what
I
you
don't know what it is. There's a wee bastard in me. Like, well, he's at home at the minute, but sure. But I was sitting there and she was like, and do you know, if anything, she gave me nun vibes. Like, she gave off, like, you know, she genuflects.
It's her fault.
Yeah, it's definitely her fault. But no, here, she laughed, right?
Class.
But it was one of them ones where she was sitting like that.
Doesn't want to be laughing.
She couldn't be seen to be laughing. And I thought maybe I was the only one that noticed this because nobody else was looking at her anyway. Lads, nobody's looking at you, right? Just laugh if you want to.
And that's what's scary.
Fart while you laugh. It happens to me all the time. It's good crack. But she, afterwards... There was a wee kid, not a wee kid, but a young fella came in to me and Paddy and he was like, here. There was a wee woman sitting next to me and she's actually really, really well respected around the town. It was a really lovely venue, so she must have been on the committee. And it was like, and you could tell, like, and I went, I know who you're talking about. And he went, but here, did you see? I seen her wiping her eye. I seen her wiping her eye. When I just wiped her eye, I charged him with 200 quid to come and do it. but like, I was like, I fucking knew it. I knew it, you know what I mean? There's vulgar in all of us.
There is, surely, and it's all coming from a good place. But
Sounds like a Leonard Cohen song. There is vulgar in all of us.
But we do come from a good place. Like
we do.
Sometimes we cross the line and it's not intentional.
Yeah, it's just because it's funny. I kind of have a rule.
I'm the same.
As long as it's fucking funny, it doesn't matter if it is bad. And that's terrible. That's probably not a good mantra to live by. But you see, whenever you say something, and everybody in the room goes, "Oh!" But
Kieran Bartlett said one the last gig we did, and it was just fucking amazing.
Was it?
I don't even want to say it because it's probably
a bit
I don't even know it's a bit. I just think it was a throwaway thing. But Jesus Christ,
he's great for that too, though.
Just comes from side to side.
Things.
You're just like, what the?
Yeah, you get hit with it. Yeah, but you're like, you can't complain afterward if you laughed and clapped during it. Do you know what I mean?
Connor
it's like bad sex.
Keezy always says, "See if you get this before a laugh."
You're doing something right.
You know what I mean? You're like, yep.
Yeah.
And then they go into their laughter and it's great. It's great.
I fucking love it. But that's, like, see, whenever you are ruminating. Do you ever,
ruminate?
You know, I wake up sometimes at 5 o'clock in the morning and go, I need to write that down. You know, because it's just been in your head.
You have to do it there and then.
You have to, because you know that your brain's not built to remember. Right, this is one thing I've only learned recently. I have great ideas all the time, and I never write them down. And then some TikTok philosopher, I can't fucking tell you who it was like, the science behind it, which I can't remember because I don't pay attention. But he was like, there is science behind it. When you have a good idea, you should always write it down because the brain is built for thinking up good ideas, but not for recalling them. So now do you ever look through your notebooks and go, I'm funny.
I also go by the mantra of, I think it was John Lennon or Paul McCartney or something says, no, like, if it was a good idea, you would have remembered it.
Yeah.
So like,
that's actually really true.
They reckon the best time for ideas is when you're sort of in that not comatose state, but like what do you call people that meditate? So see when you're nearly sleeping
Yeah.
and a belter idea comes in.
Yeah, you should just
You
get
have
up
to
and write it
I
down.
do. I have my phone beside me, get the notebook out, and just.
Yeah.
But sometimes you write things down and you get up the next day and go, "What the fuck was I
Oh
even
my
thinking?"
god, yeah.
Like-
Bees and harp cans. I've
But you
the,
might
like,
get you
Uber for
have to write the whole
dogs.
joke.
yeah.
And you have to write it out properly what you're thinking, because if you just do the headlines, you're not going to remember.
You go, I have no idea what that's about. Like, see if anybody went into the notes in my phone, Ronan. We
I
should have a
lost
note
my
off.
phone the night of the box. Remember the celebrity or the comedian boxing? Mm-hmm. Brilliant night. On the way home, lost my phone. But if anybody left my phone and went through it, my notes, they think I'm a paedophile or something.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff you just write down, I wonder what that'd be like. Or, because it's all brain dump.
Yeah.
But you're right. I was like,
I do that with because I take a note, see if I'm recording a podcast and there's a bit like, oh, that's a clip there, or that's like, oh, I might need to get taken out. I take a wee note of it,
Yeah.
right? And then see when I'm doing band practice, they get me to read out my notes because it's all like dirty arsehole. Like,
ship myself on a bus.
it's like Jimmy Savile, fucking Stephen Nolan,
Yeah.
like
You're
fucking
like, take
Stephen
this
Nolan
out.
wanks off. Jimmy
meat
Savile,
curtains.
the old
Take that
beef
out. That's
curtains,
libelous.
Wizard sleeve.
Meat curtains.
Wizard sleeve.
Yeah. Waving a
fucking
wand in the
hilarious.
cave. We know what we're talking
The
about.
punch lasagna.
It just this one here, the last one here for it just says 22 minutes incest joke.
22 minutes.
You could get
incest
probably
joke.
arrested. What's wrong with this one?
Oh my god. Yes. Yeah,
And you
you're,
need a
you're marking
psychiatrist.
off.
You need somebody to lie you down and talk to you after losing your phone.
Yeah.
That's tight, like.
It is. It's bad. Like.
And then all the
In
gigs.
fact, if anybody found my phone, they would probably need lay down
Aye.
and spoken
So
to.
you
Like,
put all your gigs on your calendar on your phone.
yeah, I did that, but then my calendar decided to fuck me up and like go all over the place.
Go to Google Calendar, because it means wherever you go, you have it.
Really?
Aye, I had to do that because of what I
So tell
lost
me,
all
why
of it.
did you ask me that? Did something happen to you? So you were like completely lost. You were like,
The
what am I
boxing.
gonna do?
So I had a great night, and then I got home to the hotel, and I realised there's no phone. And then I rang the cab place, and they says, if there's, you put on your lost and found, and I'll get back to you in 24 hours. I went, that's lost. But the guy left me off, just finished shift. Went on, so I got it a week later.
Get away.
But it ruined the rest of my night.
Oh, no. It
I
put
sobered
you on
up
a
and everything. I
real
was just like,
downer.
and we had a great night boxing and the party
E.T.
after.
phone
and,
home.
I was just like,
But see, I wouldn't be surprised if everybody was like, and you hear Ronan, get your phone out and show. I know just to put you down
Comedians
even
do.
more.
Cunts.
Yeah,
They're
to be
just,
absolute bastard.
could be worse. Could be my phone lost and all that.
Yeah. Oh my
fuckers,
God, what are you gonna do? Phone the police?
You can punch people there like you're just sitting in their face.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh my God. Do you remember
do?
the days before phones though, when everybody actually spoke to each other? Like, what the fuck? In fact, I actually think that we should do this. We should make it a thing where the comedians that come on the show will be like, show me your notes, right? Read them, because I was looking, my dad looked at my phone one day and I had, for some reason, my notes became a widget where they would sit on the screen, and he was looking, and he, for a start, nosy bastard, right? And here he was, babies farting, get congratulated. What? Like, I did a drama degree. Like, he was like, you had got a good education. I was like, but this pays more. Do you know what I mean? But I was just, it came to me one day, I was like ruminating upon the idea that my child,
The old rumination, you know.
my child farted, and I went, good boy, good boy, a good boy. And I was like, how come nobody does that for us? Like, whenever we fart, they don't go, good boy. Do you know what I mean? Like, the middle child farts, and I go and fucking take your arse for a shite. He goes, she doesn't love me.
That's
Like, she loves him.
the first child. I have 3 kids as well. The first one, like, you do everything's a celebration when they walk, talk. Even their first fart, you go,
Ah.
but if it's a shite, see your first one, you'll change the nappy. By the time it's the third, because whoever smells it has to change it.
Yeah.
I would let my third one shade away.
Yeah.
Smell nothing until
Curtis.
on the mama, she's in the kitchen.
Fucking gig,
I don't know who was in on the 24th of July, but Jesus fucking Christ. This here one that goes 19 minutes, rape, and then it says 35 minutes, dad joke, Pizzagate, and then and then
That's rape, pedo.
it says Jesus killed, or the Jews killed Jesus.
Oh my God.
That's probably all I think. Delete.
That's what that is.
Because people don't understand.
I actually think that was
It's just
that
whatever's in the top of your head rolls out,
The
doesn't it?
Pizzagate, we talked about that. I think.
I
Maybe
don't
we
think
did.
it was this podcast.
No, it wasn't this podcast.
That's
Then.
all
Thank
to do
God,
with
it wasn't us.
It's all to do with
Wasn't
your
even
man's
us.
island, doesn't it? And all
We
that
never do
pizza
that type of
cracking.
stuff. Yeah, that's
pizza.
desperate. So you're looking through your phone going.
Is that Paddy's podcast?
Well, not they
There's
who
a
shall
certain
not
two
be
boxers,
named.
I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
two boxes, two
fucking
podcasts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you should actually go on Whiskey and White.
The boys, I know Tommy from before we did comedy. We actually had a wee video out that we did when we were. He worked for a different organisation than me, but both youth organisations.
I love that you both work for youth organisations and your living was literally to knock people out.
Yeah.
But do you not think that would get you loads of respect as like a youth worker?
Do you know what? Comedian and MMA fighters, like that's the two.
Yeah. Well, I've worked with
You're a
youth
legend
workers
with young
before
fellas.
who are like youth workers who have had criminal records and whatnot. And if anything, it gives them a bit more clout with the young ones because they're looking, especially from where I'm from, which is like
If you're working with a real
an
difficult young people,
underprivileged
yes,
area,
hard
and
to reach.
people want to go, I can relate to them, or they know what they're talking about. They're not just some silver spoon in mouth type of
You've
person.
experienced what they've experienced, so
Yeah.
nobody can tell you better than the person.
Exactly.
who's
You're a
got it.
martial artist who has a fucking podcast. You're basically the Strabane Andrew Tate.
Yeah, no.
So, Joe Rogan?
Do you reckon you could knock Andrew Tate out?
Easy.
Yeah, he's a wee
He's a wee
flab, isn't he?
See the thing about me slabbering that I was kickboxing champion? There might be another 20. Do you know what I mean? Because
Aye.
kickboxing, people start their own organised. Kickboxing is not affiliated or organised like boxing. Like
Like, but there's like a league.
Tommy actually was giving me stick in one of his podcasts about fucking which version did he want? You know what I mean? Because he's actually literally fighting for proper titles. Where I'm fighting, like I was a WKU. Look, there was plenty that fight in that organisation, but they say world. You might have a team in Ireland, a team in England, and a team in America, the 4 countries or something.
Aye, yeah. So it's
Like,
like
you want to be a world champion, but and the Irish one. So the boxing's completely. And Tommy got on to me because somebody actually sent him an email going, Ronan Boyd's actually a gentleman, you know. And
I take offence on
comes
his
from a good
behalf.
place, and he actually did fight to him. He was a good fighter, and now he's a comedian. Tommy's like, I'm only joking. It's a podcast. We're only messing. And I said, but Tommy, what's
Tell the truth, it was you that wrote that email.
as a woman?
Ronan Boyle. He put his fake nails on and all the right. Clickety clack.
Do you
clickety
think
clack.
the comedian's boxing's coming back?
I heard it is, but who's going to fight me?
I will.
Well, here.
I heard Paddy. I know there'd be some crack with it.
Wouldn't it?
Me getting my face punched.
Big claw marks. I'd be getting my nails sharpened. Oh, right
Geddes
through the
is looking
boxing
somebody,
gloves.
because I heard Geddes is looking somebody that would give him a good fight, he reckons.
Yeah.
And then Paddy, me and Paddy was sort of staged, the last one.
Yeah.
But he's looking, I think they're trying to set him and Mickey Bartlett up.
Oh.
You and Gaddis doing the comedian's MMA. That'd be
Yeah.
fucking
And
good.
he actually
That
did a
would
bit
be
of
actually
jiu-jitsu.
brilliant.
is it?
Yeah.
I am fighter versus I am Strabane man.
I
Oh
am
my
Strabanter.
god. I am Strabanter. I love it actually. Get that on the fucking go.
That's-
You heard it
I'd
now.
pay to watch it.
All in Geddes.
I would pay to view, most definitely.
You know,
Who's Tommy gonna fight?
Funnily
Tommy's
enough,
not allowed to fight.
when the last one was on, somebody,
the Olympics.
like,
You know what I mean? Look.
a few people emailed me going like, "Why didn't you and Diona do it? You
Why
and
didn't you fight?
Diona
Diona
shoot
was
it."
pregnant.
Diona was pregnant, and
You were afraid.
I fuck no. Do you know what? Actually, I remember. I think somebody actually did ask me, and I went, "Fuck no!" I came out of Lena doing the stop boxing. I went, "Are you seriously?"
Like, I'm 6-0. I'm going out at the top.
Yeah, I'm
I'm not
going
touching
down.
that
I'm
record.
going down on a fucking win here. But actually, do you know what? Because of the crack that you all had last time, I might be tempted to go.
I don't know if it's happening again. I think there's talk,
Yeah.
but nobody's really said to me about it.
TikTok.
Has to. Absolutely has to. It was too good.
Well, see, the last one sold out in minutes because we did a press conference.
do it in the
to
SSE
sell
or
it out,
something.
and we
Yeah.
didn't really need to do it because it's so. We could have done SS Arena, but I'm glad we did it there because that's the home of boxing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like such a historic thing. Like,
Yeah, the Ulster Hall.
Aye.
It's a great venue as well.
And you're Paddy's brother,
yeah,
so your dad boxed there.
yeah.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
really?
He was actually saying he was more technical. I think your dad was saying to Paddy I was more technical than him, and all. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
because me and Paddy said we'll keep it. We weren't going to take heads off each
Yeah,
other.
we'll
Like.
just have a laugh.
I says Millennium Forum, and they open for you then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I love it! Yeah,
So,
but you were like just
Because your dad
having-
knows about boxing.
Oh, aye.
True, I
like
mean, so
he
he-
wanted us to box. Like,
Aye. And then I think Paddy had a story about he went and
I love the way your dad wanted to just book the box and he's like,
yeah.
one's a comedian and one's a musician.
Yeah.
They're more florists than bricklayers, to be fair.
Keeping the moneymaker safe.
Yes, definitely. What?
But how big?
Keeping the ways.
That's the spot where you wanted. That would be better than SSE for experience. I can tell my Waynes or my grand Waynes
You
that I
fought
fought in
Neil.
Ulster Hall.
I
Yeah,
love
that's
that.
amazing.
The headline fight.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, actually,
That's all you
isn't
need to
it?
say.
Yeah.
And it's good because I can move on. See my appendix scare.
Yeah.
My Waynes thought I was attacked by sharks.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now I have to tell them it's appendix.
Oh, no, you don't.
Because they're going on the second year
Never.
telling everybody.
That you got
My
attacked
daughter
by
was
a
attacked by a
shark.
shark.
He was in Charmel Sheik a couple of years ago. I swear to God, that's what happened.
Fucking-
Do you want to hear our dirty? We finish with a dirty word of the week.
Ooh.
You want to hear it? Yeah.
Dirty bird.
Me dirty bird. Well, it's usually some kind of a paraphilia, which is an abnormal love for
You're
something.
well smart.
But I just act it.
You're a great actor.
Great. I fucking love
I'm ruminating here.
ruminating about how she's like
Is this
getting all these
foreign
words.
word?
No, this is so basically.
I don't even know my English.
The UK, is that foreign?
Is that
Yeah, actually.
is that real English?
It's real. Right, put it this way. Any phobia can be a philia, right? So claustrophilia,
It's
So
like
the opposite of
you get,
claustrophobic.
you get
You're not
turned
allowed
up.
outside. You can't go outside.
you love
You love wee tiny rooms.
wee tiny spaces.
You love getting fucked in the boiler room.
Yay! That is totally
I'll
it.
tell you, people like caving and stuff like that.
Yes.
You don't have to go through.
It doesn't always have to be sexual because people who enjoy caving. All right.
No, that. But
He's
you're
like,
right.
"Can I see your
people
man
love
cave?"
being on me.
Wee teeny
Or-
tiny spaces. Like usually, you'll actually. Whenever I was researching this, you find that some people that have like autism, will say that they prefer that they feel soothed by being in smaller, tighter
Aye.
spaces. Do you know what I
Safe.
mean? Like safe, that sort of thing. And then you do get people who really, really enjoy the thrill and the adrenaline of being like stuck
There
in.
is.
Why they do like a
Caving.
bush tucker trial and they're like up a road.
Yeah, do you know, like they fucking love it. Yeah.
They go through with all the snakes. Not they're like, oh,
Yeah,
fuck,
I know.
I'm right.
Excuse me, we said you had to eat a kangaroo penis, not your opponent. Yeah, it's like, you know, people who love. In fact, I actually wrote down the wee definition because
There's
it was
two
nice.
people in America that were living down a manhole. Did you see that? Was in America? They were homeless and they didn't know where to stay, and then they just opened a manhole and went down in, and apparently it's immaculate inside.
Nowadays, that's fucking just clever, like getting against the cost of living. It's immaculate.
I was
Is
like, I think it was
is your
during COVID.
manhole immaculate inside?
Trapdoor.
free real estate.
Don't go near that trapdoor. Fuck me.
I fucking love it. Yes, so do you know what I actually thought was quite judgy though? Whenever the definition for this described it as an abnormal pleasure, right, derived from being in confined space, I thought, but are you kink shaming there? Because what if it isn't? Is it abnormal? Like some people, I just like to be in my room, nobody fucking bothering me.
That's another thing. Kink shame.
Yeah, kink shame.
I need to learn
Right.
more about that. Too.
So there's a wee song actually by this wee comedy thing, and he's like, "We don't kink shame, we don't kink shame." Who I always think of, yet can't remember his name. Anytime I do this podcast. So if you kink shame somebody, it's not the done thing these days, the PC thing to kink shame somebody,
Good.
because everybody can have their. Put it this way. Nobody fucking knows what anybody gets up to in the bedroom. Look at all, you know.
I got sort of hate mail about me talking. Somebody said I was misogynistic because it says, I wonder does she wear a strap on in the evenings? That was it. And is that not kink shame? You can buy a strap on
That
in the
is
shop.
kink shaming.
People.
I love mine. You know,
Exactly.
they,
So-
in fact, that's, what would you call that then? You would
That's
say that
kink shaming it.
they're projecting that onto you because they are.
How is that misogynistic by saying I wonder does she use a strap on because it was just it was a joke first of
Yeah.
all and it was an imaginary person.
Yeah.
But they were like, oh, it's.
No, that's kink shaming. Do you want to know something actually? Now, this is going to
I think
sound
they're kink shaming by
really-
saying
they
I'm
are kink
misogynistic.
shaming because you could say, well, my wife loves a strap on. Do you know what I mean? What's the matter with that?
What's your problem with that?
I'm just wondering out loud
What's your beef?
if you share the same hobby. Do you know what I mean?
Claustrophilia.
My husband's, they're going to kill me for saying this, but I don't care. My husband's family in London, they actually, whenever they look out their back, obviously it's London, so there's a house directly behind them, and they said that there are certain nights when the fella across the street stands to the window, like it can be seen, and his wife pegs him.
Aye.
Yeah, like he full on gets pegged up against the window. But I was like, I'm a fucking...
Are they wanting to be videoed?
They must want. It must be some...
Let's go viral
That
here.
must be a kink where they want to be
What's
seen.
he do himself when that's going on?
It's like the mash was like a fucking dirty
stands
bastard. Oh, what's he do? What's your man do? He just stands there and gets pegged. But I was like, this is the kind of person I am. I was booking a fucking flight. I was like, I need to get...
With all your camera equipment?
Yeah, I was just like, I just want to see it so I can laugh. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just want to see it so I can...
You need to be there.
Because they say, actually, that watching somebody have sex who doesn't know they're being watched is one of the last sort of live phenomenons, like experiences of true liveness.
What's that called?
Now, I'm
Somebody
going
that's-
all theoretical here, but whenever I was in uni, I studied the phenomenon of liveness, which, to be honest, I would associate, if I was to write an essay about that now, I would talk about the boiler room. Because in the boiler room, the phenomenon that occurs within that room itself, don't worry about that, you're saving me a couple of puffs on mine. That whenever you're in, there's certain spaces that, like, when something happens live, it's a phenomenon. It can't be explained.
Can never be
as
repeated.
to why it worked there in that moment, and you needed to be there and bear witness to it to experience it. Do you know what I mean? So whenever I was in uni, I might have talked about, like, the phenomenon of experiencing Chekhov live, and now I'm like, I just want to see that guy get fucking pegged.
Third story up.
Yeah, so I can go,
What the fuck?
I've seen that. I was there when that happened. Do you know what I mean?
And what's wrong with?
Yeah, and what's wrong with, do you know what I mean? He's fucking loving his life.
Hey, I'm
He's
sorry.
having-
You were like,
Historic day. It's like, Mummy, where were you the day that man got pegged?
Yeah.
do you know what I
I
mean?
was there. So
I
I was wearing a
there.
strap on.
I even heard of it coming off the window. Do you know what I mean?
The whole going back together.
What does the black hole sound like? Well, the man across the street.
Well,
But yeah, so I just, things like that really make me giggle. But I don't kink shame. I don't think we kink shame, because we talk about quite a lot of paraphilias on here. Scatophilia, that was another one that we talked about.
what's that?
That's where people really enjoy excrement while they're having sex.
The
Yeah.
apple green got scatterfield on the way up the road.
Did you?
I had to pull it. I was
Were
like,
you a scat man?
oh,
Had a coffee, yo.
I was brave drinking that there,
I know.
Because I told you I went to Turkey, my stomach's quarter the size, so it's just...
Oh, right. So you
it
went to
doesn't take
Turkey
long.
and got a fucking...
I went to Turkey, 23 stone.
Get away. Is that why you're looking all butch now? Fucking yes. I don't know what it is. I think I get in the boxer vibe. I'm like, I want to fucking...
We'll fight any man.
Anyone,
Any
anywhere.
man, you innocent
Tell
horse
your
bastard,
mother.
you.
Tell
Bring
your
them on.
mother. Getting up at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning to tell your mash. I own your arse.
You
I'll
innocent
peg you.
horse bastard.
Meet me in London. I'll get you up against the window.
She'll fight any man. I'll fight any woman.
He'll fight any woman.
Anything.
He doesn't care how old
Come on
she
ahead.
is.
You horse bastard. Just.
Thank you very much for being on my show.
Oh, it was the best podcast I've ever been on.
It was fucking...
Is this videotape going out?
It is.
Innocent.
This videotape here.
This videotape.
We'll get you a copy.
Horse bastard. Just send me a videotape.
I'll fucking tarmac your drive when I bring it round you. I will.
The tarmac with the daisies grow up through it.
Never mind tarmac, and you'll be doing the fucking dishes, woman.
With a strap on.
It's been absolutely brilliant.
Claustrophobic. Whatever the word is.
Thank you so much, Ronan.
Thanks for
I
having
fucking
me.
loved having you. I love... Oh, my mic is Lee Hug.